Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a special program could help with the teacher shortage here in the Commonwealth while allowing education majors to earn some money and experience at the same time. And Governor Andy Beshear makes another visit to the mountains to announce some major funding to help improve infrastructure here in our region.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
6:32. It's Wednesday, and I'm Dakota Makris. Good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. Let's take it over to Brandon, who is very passionate about the changing of the seasons.
Listen.
And here I said, news is no longer going to talk about the seasons, and I'm talking about it.
You're doing it.
Well, see, you're passionate about the seasons changing, and for the past 10 minutes or so, I've been passionate about finding a new litter box enclosure for my cat. So it's really just two different things here this morning. We got the seasons, we got my cat, it's the whole thing.
Exactly. All right, let's get into the forecast for the last day of this current season, which is summertime, and it's going to feel like it one more time. Let's take a look, see what's going on out there this morning. Buffalo Mountain, 59 here in Perry County. It's the same thing in Hazard this morning, over Williamsburg as well. Harlan dropped to 59. Jacksboro's at 59. 54 is the coolest spot in the region down in Jonesville. Southwest Virginia, always a little bit cooler. And you see 64. Prestonsburg, Jackson, Somerset are warm spots this morning, still 74 in Louisville, and basically everything west of I-65 is in the 70s this morning. That's Owensboro, that's Bowling Green, Clarksville, Nashville, Carbondale, Paducah, all in the 70s this morning. So the heat is building in. Your breakfast forecast, we are going to see again temperatures still fairly nice this morning. Dew points are still fairly low. They will not stay that way as the sunshine makes a quick appearance a little bit later this morning. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, Kentucky State Police are investigating a shooting they say killed a man in Pike County. Troopers say the victim of the shooting was 32-year-old Ryan Hurst from Flatwoods. Police say the shooting happened during an incident between Hurst and 56-year-old Monroe Jackson of Caney Drive. The Pike County coroner pronounced Hurst dead at the scene, and Jackson was arrested. He was taken to the Pike County Detention Center. Troopers report Jackson is charged with murder. A school shooter up for parole will have to wait a little longer to learn his fate. Michael Carnell gave his testimony to a two-person parole board Tuesday morning. He is serving a life sentence for shooting 8 people and killing 3 back in 1997. Questions for Carnell focused on his mental health and the voices that Carnell said led to him to carry out the shooting.
Not justified at all. There's no excuse for it at all. I was hearing things in my mind to do certain things, and I was doing them. I wasn't strong enough, or I wasn't thinking properly enough to evaluate what I was being told to do.
The parole board members said they could not come to a unanimous decision, and now Carnell will go before the full board for another hearing. Well, the trial for a Kentucky sailor accused of setting a fire on a U.S. Navy ship is underway in San Diego. Ryan Sawyer Mays, who is from the Ashland area, is charged with aggravated arson and the willful hazarding of a vessel. The fire on the USS Bowman Richard burned for more than 4 days in July 2020. Chad Hedrick has more on the trial.
It's a case getting national attention and centers around a Navy sailor from Kentucky charged with setting this fire.
I mean, his defense is he didn't do it.
Seaman Ryan Mays is facing a military judge this week for charges of arson and willful hazarding of a vessel. The July 2020 fire burned 4 days, and the damage was so extensive the ship was scrapped. More than 60 sailors and civilians were injured.
But more importantly, there's been evidence presented that the Navy was storing lithium-ion batteries in combustible containers down in the lower V. I anticipate that the defense experts are going to testify that these lithium-ion batteries could have been a potential source of the fire.
Gary Barthel represented Seaman Mays in the early phases of the court process and is working with his new defense team. He says Mays is being used as a scapegoat for the Navy's misdoing.
Somebody needs to answer as to what happened. This was $2 billion of taxpayer money that went up in smoke. And I know Congress is very concerned about what happened.
Dozens of Navy officials, including several admirals, have faced disciplinary action for failures that investigators say prevented the fire from being put out sooner.
I think accountability needs to be taken by the Navy. And I think the reason that they're putting Seaman Mays through this trial is that the Navy's not ready to accept responsibility for the negligence.
That was Chad Hedrick reporting. May faces serious time in prison if he is convicted on these charges. The arson charge holds a maximum of 25 years in prison, and the willful hazarding of a vessel carries a max of life in prison. The trial is expected to last through next week. A volunteer firefighter in London now has a new perspective on house fires after suffering a major loss. John Allen has been a volunteer firefighter for nearly 18 years. He says he heard the fire alarm chirping, and when he got up to check on everything, he found a fire inside of a dryer. Allen has responded to more fires than he can count, and he says now he understands the hurt he has seen many people experiencing.
I didn't have any casualties that I have to deal with, because I guarantee you if that would have been the case, I don't know how I would have been able to deal with it.
Allen says he is thankful that his wife, 5 children, and family pet all made it out safe. Well, the school year is well underway, but many Kentucky districts are still hiring classroom teachers. Kentucky lawmakers were told of a program Tennessee is using to start training and even paying teachers while they are still students. It's a learn and earn program, a game changer in student teaching, and it's an option Kentucky lawmakers could explore to help solve the shortage.
Which really kind of shifts the preparation for teaching from an unpaid, clinical observation and student teaching experience to more of a paid internship or apprenticeship experience.
Officials with the apprenticeship program say trainees would receive pay increases as they gain higher skill levels. They would also receive national certification. Governor Andy Beshear announced infrastructure improvements in Bell and Harlan counties yesterday, including nearly $200,000 to improve the water systems in Pineville. The governor also said one state park will be getting some new lodging. Our Keaton Hall has more.
I cannot imagine a more beautiful place.
Governor Andy Beshear stopped by the scenic Kingdom Come State Park on Tuesday to announce funding for infrastructure improvements and major park additions.
Days like today are good days, and we deserve a lot of good days. It's investments in this beautiful state park. It's repaving roads that lead to the school system.
$200,000 is going towards 6 new cabins and a shower house at the park.
We know that adventure tourism is the next step to help save our community and bring us back, put us back on the map. And the only way we can do that is if we have somewhere for them to stay.
The funding will actually come from a recommendation by Beshear to the National Park Service. It matches the community's own fundraising efforts.
The Harlan County Fiscal Court, Friends of Kingdom Come State Park, Cumberland Tourism, the Fraser Foundation all come together to put up the money necessary to match that grant to make it even possible.
And with special effort from the manager of Kentucky's tallest state park.
Like Mark Stoops has been for UK football, she's been that for Kingdom Come State Park, Sherry has.
Hoping to bring Kentucky to the top.
A large part of our recruitment efforts for the folks we're going to need to become that economic superpower that Kentucky can be. They're going to be drawn here by places like this.
In Harlan County, Keaton Hall, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, the governor also announced nearly $50,000 will be going towards resurfacing roads in Harlan and Middlesboro. Well, we are less than 100 days away from Christmas. I believe Brandon said 95. And many of you all may already be looking ahead to the holiday season. Fortunately, shortages are looming, and that could be the case for Christmas trees. The owner of one of Kentucky Christmas tree farms says for his business, it will not be so much of a supply shortage as much as a distribution shortage. While it may seem early, now is the perfect time to make an appointment to come out and pick up your tree.
.642, 95 days away from the best day of the year, and a stretch of fog that is drifting from Charleston, West Virginia, all the way into East Tennessee there at Jacksboro. So continue to be careful out there this morning. Anywhere you see anything less than 5 miles on this map, dense fog. So again, just take it easy out there. 59, Wise, Harlan, Hazard, and Williamsburg this morning. Then we have 55 in Jonesville and Clintwood, the cool spots. 64 Somerset, Jackson, and Prestonsburg. Your out the door forecast: hazy, hot, and humid. One more time, at least that we hope for. Last day of summer, 90s your forecast high. Take it easy out there. Take your heat precautions. Dakota?
Brandon, thank you so much. 6:42 when we come back here on Mountain News this morning. If you consider yourself to be a night owl, you might be at risk for some mental health issues down the road if you keep staying up until the crack of dawn.